So I keep getting crickets in my house. I don't know why. I've never had a cricket problem before, but I looked it up, and apparently it's really bad luck to kick them out of your house. Like, you're not supposed to kick them out of your house, but like, what am I supposed to do? Like, let you stay here? Now there's like 36 crickets running around because I did kick out one, and let me tell you, I had a really horrible week after that. And now they're just running around. And I'm like, please move. I just want to make a piece of toast and you're in my way. And I open a cabinet and it's just like, oh, hey, cricket that I can't kick out of my house. Can you please just leave? I don't want to kick you out. I just want to ask you nicely to leave. My house is just infested with crickets. And there's nothing I can do about it.
I don't know why she's so concerned with kicking the crickets out. Just murder the shit out of all of them. Take all of that bad luck at once and then move on with life.
I mean, that's the easy way to do it. Just, like
we're gonna be
mass cricket genocide.
Oh, well, I mean, we're gonna be eating crickets. Right?
Love you, bye.
Just used to it, right?
Just like catch them and like ground them.
Plan?
Negative.
Get out that fondue and let them jump in, man. Little chocolate fountain.
I would say I'm more on board with the chocolate fountain than the fondue. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a fondue fan.
Misspoke.
Hey, Corey has the right
Plus
idea. Go fishing. Use them to bait a hook.
What's wrong with my mic? Clyde, did you say something's wrong with my mic?
Well, yeah, but that's not what I said. I said you like any sort of fountain you can get to erupt. But...
Oh. I haven't used this headset doing the show before, so I wasn't sure how it would work out. So if there is something wrong with my mic, tell me and I'll do something different.
I think it's just your audio. I think the Pentagon is following you around right now.
Well, I'm around the school, so
stuff on. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. You're in a black zone.
Yeah. Well, might not call it that.
This is rural Indiana. It's not that. It's not very. What?
So
I can't. It's like I can't understand. Maybe my internet's crapping out this morning, man.
Well, that is the case a lot of the time. So.
Actually, Clyde's coming through pretty good. It's Justin's kind of glitchy though. So.
Well, I'm trying to get away from the school. I'm on my way out of town, away from the school. So as soon as I clear that black hole that is the internet suck of the school, I'll be fine. Do you think that's deliberate? Like, do they have something set up on the roof to fuck with cell signal so that my kids be sending me text messages while they're in class all the time. So obviously it's not working that well. It's only fucking with my phone. It's not actually messing with the kids' phones whenever they're there.
It's something about the
I wonder if they
reception.
do something there.
When they give all of them Chromebooks or iPads or whatever, like, it's not like taking away their phone access is really preventing them from doing any of the things that you don't want them to be doing while they're at school, because they can pull all of that stuff up on the different electronic devices that they give them to use all day.
Now, like, it depends. Some of them, they have those devices set up to where it'll block all that stuff. But you can also do that on the network. You can block it at a network level. So I don't know. Like, you would think they would block it at the network level, so that way you wouldn't have to worry.
They blocked StreamYard.
My son watches this show sitting in class, so they're not doing a very good job of blocking stuff. Just saying. Or he used to when he was still in school.
Before he got booted.
Right.
So That's like a
you guys
woman
keep
thing.
popping
Speaking of
in and
women.
out, man.
Let's take a look at this woman.
Are those
This
fingernails? Ew,
Yes.
that's gross.
Conversation is inspired by my marriage and family professor. Let's just talk about the fact that women, because women are the main gender going through this thing called, so I go to work, but when I come home from work, I have a second shift at home. Right? Right, you have a second shift at home because you got married to somebody that, you guys didn't have that conversation. And even if you guys had that conversation, eventually things are gonna fall onto the traditional patterns of life, which are for a woman to come home from work and work at home, do the home things, take care of the kids, cook, clean, organize, whatever the fucking case may be, have shit ready for the husband, right?
Turn this bitch off.
Right.
I thought you were enjoying your voice.
There's 100% chance she is single and will be for the rest of her life. Holy shit.
I mean, the nails are
What was she saying? I couldn't quite make her out.
She's saying that, like, because, women kind of fall in traditional gender roles, even like on accident. Like if a woman comes home, she's still kind of has to clean and cook, whatever after she comes home from work, and that's what she's complaining about that, and she's talking about like, it's this shouldn't be how it is, whatever. And the patriarchy wins again, I guess, because they actually take on their own.
Cutting out, man. I can't.
It's you. I can hear him fine. You need to reset your router.
I know. That's why I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Just play along like you understand what's going on, and you interject every once in a while when you get a chance.
I usually do. That's usually what I do.
See, it's women like that.
She's scrubbing the bottom of the toilet, man.
It's women like that are giving rise to the popularity of internet sex or AI sex workers on Reddit. Like dudes would rather have the perfect AI girlfriend than deal with some crazy psycho bitch like that. Makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
pull
think
up that
your crazed
article.
AI girlfriend would end up like that as well.
No, the AI girlfriend will always love you. So Fury as truth about perfect Reddit sex workers exposed. So there was this I don't know if there's a Reddit like forum or whatever that they particularly had this, but so it's like posting like feeling pretty today, and like this is the image that had, and so like people thought it was like a real chick, and they were telling her all kinds of things, like she was sexy and all this kind of stuff, and like apparently 2 computer science students wanted to create the avatar as a goof to see if they could fool people with the AI pictures. So they were using.
Dudes on Reddit just simp for anyone and everyone though, so it's not like you had to, you didn't have to set the bar as high as what they did for creating this like perfect girlfriend or whatever. They could have gone like maybe a solid 5.5 or a 6, and the dudes on Reddit still would have just like fallen all over themselves over it. So it's not like they didn't have to create the perfect woman. They could have just created a generally like average woman, and it still would have had the same effect. But that's.
So here's an OnlyFans worker, and she says she says the AI wouldn't be able to overtake the real deal, because apparently if they think that AI generated women is gonna ruin the OnlyFans economy for real life women, they have a misunderstanding of what OnlyFans is. What? They subscribe because they want to see me naked, specifically in a parasocial connection. Well, I mean, all you have to do is fake that parasocial connection. That's what these guys on Reddit were doing. Like, they were talking to an AI. Wait, where'd Clegg go? Hey.
There we go. Let's see if this works better.
Steve, you're getting a lot of background noise.
Yeah,
Like
Steve
a ton of background noise.
He's not even there, is he?
Yeah, I'm gonna back him out.
Where'd he go?
I backed him out because he had a lot of static.
Yeah,
It's like a coffee.
Steve, once you get your shit figured out, you can come back without background noise. But yeah, you gotta sit it out until you figure that out.
Yeah. I changed it around.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's the point in, like? I mean, for guys, there's a like you know, you're kind of screwed every which way, you know, because like either you're gonna be you're gonna have to deal with a woman who like was raised in feminism, or you've got to deal with the potential, like, you know, is it a is it a trans, like, you know, you have to check the body parts to make sure, like, is this the real deal? Is it a real woman? You know.
Have you seen those articles about dudes who are like it's in like the younger age categories, like the 22 to 32-year-old like males that are just removing themselves from the dating pool entirely. Like they're not going gay, they're just not messing with females. Like they're becoming asexual because it's not worth it. Like the hassle of all of these psychotic women in modern society just isn't worth it. So like, I'm not dating anymore. Just fuck all of this. I'll be single and happy about it.
Yeah,
happier than if I had to deal with these like
psychos, yeah, psycho horrors. Like,
that.
because I mean, like I mean, it would be hard, but like, you know, if your alternative is living a miserable life with some like with a psychotic woman, I mean,
could be the rise of commercial sex work right there, I guess.
Probably. I mean, it's like, okay, well, I need to get my rocks off, you know, like, and so I'll pay for it, but I don't want to like have like a legit connection.
Yeah.
Well, like the chick saying that AI isn't going to replace these OnlyFans. All the dudes who are on there are looking for is some nice titties to look at and maybe a little bit of like interaction. Like, I'm pretty sure the AI is going to give them everything they want. You are not necessary to the equation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. Do they see boobs, and do they have text on the screen that is telling them like, "Hey, big boy"?
Well, I mean, we've seen from the deep fakes and stuff that they can generate voices and stuff and make it sound relatively real. So, like, and it's not like the guys want these things to have a legitimate conversation with them. They want to hear it say certain things. So, you know,
you're talking to the AI bot that looks like, you know, Paris Hilton, and it comes out with like a Trump voice. Huge, you know, whatever.
Steve said he's got his problems solved. Let's see if he does. I don't hear a bunch of background noise. That's promising.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, it's doing 90 miles an hour.
Maybe you shouldn't be trying to do a live stream while doing 90 miles an hour.
Faster than the internet, man.
All of a sudden, just like, dude,
like I cap out at about 80 whenever I'm doing this. Like that's about as fast as I'm comfortable with holding my phone in one hand while driving with the other hand and navigating traffic.
Yeah, it really depends on the traffic, I think. You know.
Oh, are you in the new car?
Well, if Trey gave me a heads up, I'd have been able to pull over and do this.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to need, you know, a third or fourth here, because Yeah, so I mean, really though, like men, like would you really want to opt into this kind of dating pool, like with all these like psycho? I mean, it seems like a win-win to kind of like do your own thing and and try to, especially
I want to
like,
hear. I want to hear Cloud's explanation of why he doesn't think he could do it. Like why could you not do the opt out thing that a lot of guys are doing?
I mean, why would you be able? You got those. I don't know. Human desires. I mean, you got to get some of that tail, man.
I don't have to date for that.
No, well, but they just said, what do you mean then opt out of the dating pool? Like, that's the same thing. Like
you don't have to date
you
for
still
it.
have to. Well, that's not really taking yourself out of the dating pool then. I consider them all the same, even if it's like a one-night stand. It's all the same. To me, anyway. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe they're self-servicing.
like you said, they're turning themselves like asexual. Yeah,
maybe they're just.
But it's not the same. It's not. No, you need, a watermelon.
Well, I mean, I'm sure some of them use creative tools to help assist.
You need to find yourself a grapefruit lady.
I mean, they find the pocket peas. They get the pocket pea, and then they're good.
Cantaloupe in the microwave for 30 seconds.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like it. There's got to be not crazy people out there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're all already married, or they have set such insanely high standards that none of the dudes who are out on the market are ever going to meet them. Like, did you see the thing about the guy that was 5'5" and was getting leg extensions because he can't find anybody to date him?
He actually got dates after that.
Like, how fucked up is that? I mean, I'm a foot taller than that, so I've never had that problem. But like,
yeah, same.
You probably lost dates though because you look like a Jack and the Beanstalk kind of character. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible. I don't know. I went out with a chick that was 5'2" one time, and that was interesting.
Fun.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Like,
I had to physically pick her up to give her a kiss. It was awkward.
See, I just did the giant man, like, been down, just like
stop squirming. This is easier for both of us.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, I can see both ways. I can see you trying to, and it's like my son. I don't know what am I gonna tell him, like, whenever, because there are, I mean, a lot of psycho women. I mean, really, he's just gonna have to be. He's gonna have to be really choosy,
Look at their mother. They, they pick up 90% of their traits from their mother. Like, is that who you want to marry? And it's not just physical looks. It's like, all of it.
My daughter is my clone, so I feel sad. I feel really bad for any dude that tries to date her.
Gets decked in the face.
She got very, very, very few traits from her mother. She is almost. It's almost like I just like I screen printed her straight off of a copy of me. It's like, here we go. Give it long hair.
That's weird.
Well, I mean, on that same note, this one right here, he behaves a lot more like his mother. So I don't know. It's our kid's kind of reversed on that.
Poor bastard. Can he hear you? Yes, he can hear you.
He's literally sitting right there. He can hear me, but he can't hear you. So.
Okay.
Unless he's watching the show right now, in which case he's hearing all of it. But
Oh man, I don't know.
so what's going on with this leaker thing? They arrested the guy. What all was revealed? Yeah, he was young too. He was like 21, 22.
Like nothing was revealed. It was just a fact that like something was revealed, and it's like, oh, government lies. Like I think that's pretty much what it seemed like. Like
so
he called out on their lies, and
well, here it is. He was he was suspected of.
Is that a he? Are we sure?
It's a he him maybe. So they actually they closed in on him and they've arrested him now. And
I don't give a shit about him. What was the information that was released? Like it's great that he did it, but he's the secondary in this story. Like what was actually released? Because I've seen a few different things that like they were revealing that the U.S. military's spying on Russian military goes a lot deeper than expected. That the whole Bakhmut region is basically a complete and total failure for Ukraine. That they're losing like massive troops over what's being reported and what's being projected. That the actual death tolls between Ukraine and Russia are much closer to being equal, and in some particular fronts, even way more Ukrainians are being killed than what Russians are. And a lot of the Russians who have been killed weren't Russian troops. They were like convicts who were conscripted into military service and just sent out there to be cannon fodder. Like there's also like a bunch of stuff about North Korea, Egypt, China, somewhere else.
The main
Thailand,
thing
maybe I can't remember.
Taiwan. Yeah, probably Taiwan. But I think the main thing was like you were saying that the war isn't going as expected. That Ukraine is actually losing. They're not just winning big. Oh, Ukraine is pushing them back and everything. And essentially all the plans were that we may need to not necessarily mobilize troops, but we may need to station or have some troops to aid, and there were plans all these kind of different plans and cases of how to help the Ukraine actually win, and because they're basically losing that's essentially what it was. Is Ukraine's not winning big like we thought, and they're actually kind of losing or barely treading water. And they've lost a couple of key regions, and Russia has already definitely claimed those regions, and so it's not looking good for them.
I think the bigger issue is that after we just got done with COVID and all the distrust of that people have now realized the government is full of crap. Now we get this. That's oh yeah. Everything they were telling us is still more crap. It's just adding more on that the government is not honest. And I think honestly that plays into probably to some degree their future plans and how they're going to spin this narrative. Ukraine is winning, Ukraine is winning, oh yeah, Ukraine, the US did it. Even if Ukraine doesn't win at the end of the day, if Russia doesn't take over all of Ukraine, we can still spin it in Western media to seem like Ukraine and the US came out on top.
Yeah.
When you have numbers like that come out, there's no way to spin the history to make it look like you were the winner. It's over. You're done. And I think
that's what they're more afraid of the narrative. It's more that's more about what it is. It's this kid is disputing the narrative that Ukraine is one one missile shot away from literally just pushing Russia back into all the way into the Russia and
the motherland.
And basically if we can't believe that, if we've been told the real numbers and the real factual information, then they can't propagandize us enough to dispute all that kind of,
Well, there have been reports about the real numbers and the real factual information that have come out of like India and Russia and other like
But those aren't
European.
trustworthy sources.
Well, I know that's what I keep getting told. Is every time I'll do something on like my own show where I'll talk about this stuff, that's the pushback I keep getting is, well, that's not right. The U.S. State Department actually says that it's this, this, and this. I'm like, if you trust the fucking State Department after everything we've seen for the past 25 years, you might be fucking brain dead. Like, how do people still look at anything that comes out of the State Department and say, well, actually, this is what the State Department says. So yeah, I'm going to trust those motherfuckers about as far as I can throw the national debt.
Which is nowhere.
Yep. Did you yeah. I don't know. It's I feel bad for the kid too. Like,
oh yeah, I feel terrible for him because I was looking at an article. I was looking at an article on Facebook that was talking about all the the leaks and stuff, and calling and saying that they're heroes and everything. And there was somebody that said, "Hero? You mean traitor?" And it's like, no, these people are doing the right thing. Like it was upheld in the Pentagon Papers back in the what was that? The 70s, I think, when there was the Supreme Court took a case on and upheld that the media has the right to reveal all of this stuff. That this is like stuff that the public needs to be made aware of, and yet Snowden and Assange and now this kid, like, there is literally Supreme Court precedent that what they did was right. I mean,
I think the difference may be here though, Justin, that he went to a Discord group and shared it with other individuals, and not necessarily like the press, I guess.
I mean, that's media. That's media. That's media.
Yeah.
Well,
that's like if you shared it on Twitter or if you shared it on Reddit. That's media.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's.
But that's probably how the courts would
but
dispute it.
It's gonna. I think it's probably gonna have to go back to court to, redefine what the media is.
Yeah.
Redefine what a whistleblower is. Like, do you have
what
to go
is
through? Yeah, right. Like, do you have to go through, CNBC? Right?
The courts,
go through CNN?
The courts are always behind these kind of things because they always have to have a specific case to say this was shared on Discord, so therefore this Discord is a form of media that they're sharing it to. And that,
look at all the Twitter. Look at the Twitter files that Elon Musk has been releasing through Taibbi and all of the others on Twitter. Like that makes Twitter a legitimate
federal
media media source. That is where news is distributed. It's like you can't say that it's not at this point. And that's the same for Discord. It's the same for Reddit. As much as Reddit is a complete fucking cesspool, there are still actual legitimate news sources on there and people who use that as a reporting platform. The same for Twitter, the same for Facebook, the same for Telegram. I mean, there are entire Telegram like groups that are just dedicated to reporting, like actual reporting.
Well, it's like there are people who have like leaked new game releases and stuff like that, and they'll because like the companies don't want that leaked via NDA, they go after them because they do view it as a form of media, as a form of press. So they don't want that information getting out there. So that's clearly why they're going after this, because this is media, and this is him actually leaking this information in a legitimate way. But they're just trying to, like, I guess, loophole it into like, okay, well, he can't just be sharing it to unclassified people who don't know what to do with the information correctly, and this kind of stuff. And that's kind of what I think they're going to try to throw the book at him for. It's just like you're not leaking it to people who will distribute it in the right way. They're going to use it, I guess, for their own purposes. That's what they're going to try to say anyway.
I mean, that's what the media is going to do anyway.
On top.
Yeah,
propaganda.
How long before the Restrict Act is instead of just TikTok, it then specifies Discord, Telegram, Substack. Like, we haven't talked about the Restrict
That's what I
Act
was
at all
gonna
on
say,
here.
yeah.
This is like,
We haven't.
I don't recall that we did. I don't know. Did y'all talk about it in that week that I was
No.
spring breaking? And so, we got Patriot Act 2.0 with the Restrict Act. Like, how long before they use that to specify that Discord is one of the things that you can't use? Like, I don't know. I'm in like 25 Discord servers.
Well, that's
As if I'm not on enough watch lists already for saying based and red pilled and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm concerned, like, the fallout that it's going to have on Discord and these other places, and how many more, Fed boys are going to be running around in there, and what kind of new restrictions they're going to put in, and and you got and then you got the Restrict Act. Like, it's like, man, you're giving them what they want, and I'm glad it's out, but you're giving them what they want,
I don't know. I'm pulling up the Restrict Act here. Let's see.
So is that
I think, like SVG says, it's. I think they mentioned.
Yeah, actually, if I pull it up here, let me.
I think
so
TikTok
is this release of information from the Pentagon by some 21-year-old who shouldn't have had access to any of that stuff? Is this an offer? Is this like a way to put Discord and Telegram and different media platforms like that on the map of these are things we need to? Because, like I said, all of the stuff that was released, it was all stuff we already knew. Like, it was stuff that's been reported by other media and stuff. It's just stuff that our Western media has suppressed or just outright lied about. So it's information that was already out there. It's not like it was some super big secret. It was just people chose to pull the wool over their eyes and not believe it. So the stuff that got released was sort of inconsequential. But the steps that it takes to push Discord, Telegram, stuff like that, the like alternative forms of media into the purview of the Restrict Act and things that need to be censored and monitored and restricted, like that feels like this dude was just a patsy. Like, they're using this as a reason to add more restrictions to try to monitor our activity on the internet more.
Yeah. Yeah, and what he says is actually correct. I'm looking at the text of the bill. I literally searched TikTok and nowhere to be found. What they're trying to say is any platform. Essentially, it's particular platforms, software, hardware. This is literally going after the entirety of the internet.
Yeah,
based on what I'm saying. Like,
it's insane. Like, it is insane. Like, you can get fined for using a VPN. Like, yeah, that's in there. Like, that it's bonkers. Like, absolutely bonkers. Like, that this is even there. I mean, it's Patriot Act on steroids. It's not even 2.0. Like, it's insane.
I think it's worse than the Patriot Act, because
for sure.
Like, at least with the Patriot Act, like this, it was just like, we'll keep tabs on everybody, but on whenever they're on the internet or whatever. But this is like literally controlling the internet as we know it.
It's insane that it would even go that far.
Is it though?
I don't know.
After what we've seen with COVID,
if it exists, they will find a way to completely stranglehold it and not let any. So what was the one that they made such a big deal over being overturned a few years ago?
Roe v. Wade.
No, the internet thing. Why am I drawing a blank all of a sudden? It was a big deal. Like, it was gonna mean the end of the internet. Like, all of these internet providers were gonna be able to just start price gouging the hell out of everybody.
Bandwidth, something to do with bandwidth.
But anyway, like, the reason that was such a big deal that they needed to not let that come to an end was because that gave the government a significant amount of restriction over the internet that they could monitor and control. And when that went away, then it became the more of a free market private enterprise thing that they didn't have as much of a stranglehold on. So they've been looking for a way in ever since then to get back into, putting their grip on the internet, and they utilize the Chinese data or China stealing data through TikTok thing because China's the buzzword that gets everybody up in arms, even though every one of these companies is stealing all. Yeah, that's the one. So all of these companies are stealing all of our data, and Meta and ABC and all of the others, like Google's parent company, they're all funneling all of that data back to our government anyway. So our government is stealing our data. Why does it matter if China is too? I don't give a fuck who's stealing my data. If it means I get better targeted ads for shit that I actually want to buy instead of some dumb stuff from Wish, cool. I'm all for targeted ads. I don't. What are they going to do with my data? If they want to know what I'm searching, I'll tell anybody. It's not like I'm trying to hide anything.
I'm less afraid of China, knowing what I look for and tracking my internet than I am the U.S. government.
Well,
because what are they gonna? What's China gonna do? Try to sell me some knockoff boots or something? Okay, cool.
Yes. Well, I mean that's part of the subversion. That's part of the subversion, but because if you watch Yuri Bezmenov, he talks about you sell your cheap crap, if you were to go to Japan 50 years ago or whatever, they would tell you and you were trying to sell cheap crap to them hey, I got a cheap a vacuum cleaner and we'll finance it for you, and they would be no, please leave or we'll shoot you. And it's that's the kind of thing. It's that would be the kind of behavior. You don't need to welcome all of that in, but I get what you're saying. I'm okay with targeted ads. I don't necessarily care. If it's stuff that I actually would buy, then yeah, some of those ads are good. I think the China is less about the ads and all that kind of stuff and that kind of data. I'm more concerned with China as far as them, I guess, having the control over TikTok to be able to push the kind of narrative in the U.S. that they want. That's more of what I. That's
the narrative that the U.S. government is already trying to push anyway. China, China is communism.
Yeah.
The current iteration of the U.S. government is pushing for communism light. It's all the same thing. They're all on the same team. They just pretend that they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
In fact, I would rather have the China version of it because at least they're not all about the LGBTQ plus minus exclamation point moon symbol bullshit.
It's SS LGBTQ plus IA now, or IA plus no.
I can't keep up. There's too many numbers and letters.
Just start adding, it's literally.
When are we just gonna change it to? When are we just gonna change it to the symbol that an Egyptian symbol like Prince did? Just drop the whole name and everything. Just give it some crazy symbol and just call it that. We don't have to.
Not male, female. That's all you got to do.
Add that to all the keyboards, and that'll be it. Save us from having to type out 43 letters.
At some point, they kind of realize that when you add that many letters, when you're constantly changing your acronym that much, you lose all credibility. It's man.
But they don't
never
care
about credibility anyway.
It's about power. They just want to exercise power over you. That's they're gonna act like a minority. They're gonna act like they're oppressed. But then, as soon as they get the chance to be on above you and have some kind of wield some power over you, they're just going to use it and abuse it. That's
narcissistic, attention-seeking behavior. That's it.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with you.
This has been a much more serious episode for a Friday than what we usually do. Trey, pull up something fun or stupid. We went way off the deep end of actually being serious. I'm sorry, that was my own fault. I've been reading shit this morning, and that's never a.
Well, this can be both serious and fun at the same time, I guess. This is a guy that got removed from the Tennessee legislature. And so,
did he get reinstated? I know the other one got reinstated.
I think he got reinstated. I think all of them got reinstated.
They all did, I believe.
Have they kicked them back out yet? Because the legislature said if you reinstate them, we're going to kick them out again.
I don't know if they have, but what Matt
That's what
Walsh,
they need to do.
Well, what Matt Walsh said is they should do it to make a rule where if you've been kicked out, you can't be reinstated, and that way you can kick them out. And then
how did they get reinstated?
It is a vote, some kind of vote.
Because okay, so they're both representatives from Memphis, and so the way it works is if your representative gets kicked out, then the district gets to select somebody to take that spot again, or to fill that spot. But there's no stipulation that you can't put the same person back in. So because it's fucking Memphis, they just, whenever they kicked them out, they then voted to put them right back in. So it's a giant circle jerk.
You would think that would be like inherent. If you got kicked out, you can't come back in.
Nope. That's not the way it works.
So this is actually Tariq Nasheed posting this, which is funny because he says so. This guy went from Carlton Banks to rocking an afro and speaking in a fake MLK accent, and we're wrong for having questions about him. So listen to this dude,
Jay Pearson, and I'm running for president of PSG. There are a few reasons that we're running this campaign this year. One has to do with representation. How can we represent all voices in a conversation? I wanted to do this by partnering with organizations from the voting Democrats to the voting Republicans. I want to bring together different voices, dissenting voices that may be more liberal or more conservative, in order that we can reach a point of sort of the radical middle. It seemed like that NRA and gun lobbyists might win. But that was good news for us. I don't know how long this day in the state of Tennessee might last.
It's all fucking theater. This is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen.
He literally is a MLK clone.
Wow.
Well, Memphis got one thing right with MLK. Maybe they should try to repeat.
Careful.
I wondered what kind of reaction that would get.
Oh, Saturday Night Memphis, Oh, God. That's great. Well, if you're on a Saturday night in Memphis, you might be inclined to drink some Bud Light, but, look at this. Leak Pick show, Bud Light exec who wants to update the company's fratty culture.
Drinking?
Enjoying a fratty party. Let's see.
What is she
Can't
doing?
quite tell.
Showing her ass and drinking Bud Light.
It's Rolling Rock.
Is it?
Looks like she has a bagel in her mouth.
Yeah, what's in her mouth? Is that like a gag?
Probably. She was a party girl, but she doesn't like this.
She's blowing condoms.
She what?
She's blowing up condoms like a balloon. Here.
Oh. Yeah, gotta change that fratty culture, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's got a bagel. That's what that is.
Yeah, how long before it comes out that she's gonna come out and say that she was actually like drugged and gangbanged at this, and she's a victim of fratty culture. Like, it's just a matter of time. Like
that's gonna be like the next stage, and then she's.
I give it by the end of the weekend.
Well,
we had talked about that on Wednesday a little bit, and like all of a sudden, like all these articles start popping up in my feed about how like bad Bud Light is doing now, like how much their market cap is down, and sales are dropping.
Like the people saying that, okay, like I hate when especially when like conservatives do this because it's not working. Okay, like it doesn't matter if they lose a $5 billion market cap. It doesn't matter that they went down. A lot of these people will buy the dips. It doesn't matter. Like that stock price is going to go back up. Like it's not like these companies are literally too big to fail a lot of times. Like you're not gonna
Right.
gonna
They had a
destroy
$5 billion.
McDonald's.
They had a $5 billion market cap, but their market cap is still 127 billion. Like that, they're not hurting. That's not. That didn't do anything to them. Now, if that's if that becomes a sustained dip, if that lasts not just for the next week or so, but if that sustains over the next 6 months, or continues to go down, or they see a sharper downturn over coming weeks that a market rally doesn't recover from, then you've got something to talk about. But like to look at a 1 day dip, I mean, like a big company like that. Yeah, a big company like that on a bad day, that's nothing. That's like expected loss. They've literally got people who are watching their stocks and trading that to make sure that when that does happen, they've reinvested it in other stuff. They're buying stuff off, they're selling stuff off, and they're actually making money off of that dip. So like these companies aren't stupid. They know how to manage that, and they know how markets work. But I mean, like I said, it has to be more than a 1 day thing for it to actually be meaningful. The articles that get all up in arms about, oh, look, $5 billion cap loss or market cap loss, like that's
it's like
nothing.
Well, like it was a bigger deal that like Facebook had like a 50% drop over the past year. Like that's a way bigger deal. Like a 50% stock drop like that over a year span,
sustained over time. That's a legit problem.
Yeah, and
that's
why they've been cutting a lot of employees. So.
What was it? The last round where they were laying off like 7,000 employees or something?
Oh, I thought it was 4,000, but I think they may have also upped it. I don't know. Yeah, like 7,000 people. Gone.
Yeah,
but they have way more employees still. Like they still have even you think that's crazy, like 7,000 employees. They probably had at least tens of thousands, if not more, like probably like 20,000 employees somewhere, and so 7,000. They still got like 13,000 employees, probably, if I had to guess. So I mean, it's not probably, but yeah, I mean,
but still, I mean that's significant, like that, and Facebook didn't even do anything particularly like woke or stupid to trigger that. They just changed over to the whole Meta thing, and it was an abject failure. And they've continued to.
They invested in VR too. Like they were really pushing the okay, we're gonna do VR. We're gonna have and VR didn't take off, especially not whenever we went from a zero interest rate economy to now being like super high interest rate. Now they're dealing with a lot of that too, and that's part of it, and that's why some of the people who believe in Facebook, they'll buy that dip anyway. That's why some of these companies are just literally too big to fail, because it's like they'll buy that dip, and then here in a few years, when we go back to low interest rates, Facebook will be a really profitable company again, and then people won't have to worry about all this kind of stuff. They'll be like, okay, I'll invest in Facebook because Facebook is actually worth investing in an economy that actually works for it.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, whatever. What else we got? We got something enjoyable.
You wanna talk about reparations?
Yeah, you were supposed to bring us something funny.
Here's something funny.
This is a lady. I mentioned her on Wednesday.
21 safe for fire.
487, 27, 421, repeat.
Safe for fire. So what happened?
Okay, being secure at 2046.
Okay.
Came up, I tried to verbally de-escalate. She told me that she wanted to rec it out, and I told her we couldn't do that.
Okay.
And then she said, excuse me, and I was like, man, I need you to back up or leave, but we can't do that for you. So she started charging at me. I came all the way back into my office, into an enclosed space, and I hit her in the face.
Okay.
And I have it all on video.
Ma'am, are you okay?
Physically, I'm okay. Emotionally,
Car 4 David 31, in front of the big lot, 825 Bay. Escape for suspicion.
According to the man, who was kind of whispering, asking her to make reparations regarding her groceries of over $1,000. The manager told the suspect that if she wanted a donation, she needed to call in the morning. This response led the suspect to become verbally aggressive, screaming, and forcing the manager to back into the cafe counter. Before the suspect began backing him into the security office while screaming. The staff member punched the suspect.
Oh, wait, that was the. Oh, I missed it. Here you go. Oh, here's the.
Inside the office, the security staff member punched the suspect. Security staff member punched.
There we go. That's it.
Like what?
So apparently she demanded, like, she went to Target. She demanded that, like, they cover her
$1,000 grocery bill.
Yeah.
You're not buying $1,000 in groceries.
That's reparations.
At Target unless like you're. I mean, you're buying some ridiculous shit. Like, let's be real.
They should have just done it. They should have done it. They should have printed out something that said your reparations have been paid in full. Never ask for anything again.
Hey, that's actually a good idea. You know, if California's going to do it anyway, they're going to give. Didn't they say they're going to give like $800 million out in reparations to black citizens?
$5 million a piece or something.
Yeah, something stupid.
It was. I don't know.
Something crazy. That's.
I mean, if it's a one-time payout and it's then you never have to hear about it again, then maybe that would be. But I don't feel like that's how it's gonna go though.
Yeah.
Are you drinking a juice box? What are you, a child? Oh, it's
Hershey's chocolate.
Hershey's chocolate milk. At least be a man and drink a Yoo-hoo, okay? Like that's what real men drink, okay? Yoo-hoo.
This is what he brought me. This shit's good. It's like real chocolate.
So
it's legit.
You want to know the real kicker here in that Target thing? Did you catch her name? Did you see any articles that had her name?
No, I did not.
It's Karen Ivory.
The most white-sounding name ever.
Karen Ivory. Like I mean, you can't. With a name like that, you can't do stuff like that. It's just not okay. I wonder what's good.
It's a wonder that, like, especially after 2020, it's a wonder that every woman whose name is actually Karen didn't go out and have their name legally changed. Like, after all of the Karen memes and everything else, that should have been first act of business, was to just change your name legally. Don't be Karen anymore. Don't just be a Karen anymore. Don't be Karen, period. Right? Be Susan or Tina or Linda, something else. Like, listen, Linda.
Kiki. Just call her Kiki.
Kiki.
My heart. There's nothing our nations can't achieve if we do it together. I really mean it. So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done.
Go lick the world.
Y'all ready to lick the world?
Biden's been hanging out with the Dalai Lama too much.
He was talking in Ireland. The rugby team beat the New Zealand rugby team. The New Zealand rugby team is called the All Blacks, and he referred to them as like the Black and Tans. And
that's what. I guess that was why that was trending. I was confused. I was like, and then I saw that.
The Black and Tans were in the 20s or 30s, I think, were some sort of. I think they were like an Irish group that like defended like Ireland, like they were heavy fighting with the British, back when that stuff. And it was kind of funny. You got the two switched up there. It was just like, oh my god, like he. I don't know how. I mean, people are worried about Feinstein and her, mental wherewithal, and it's like, do you know who's in the White House? Like, have you seen this? Have you paid any attention? Like,
well, there might be a new guy in the White House this next time, and let's.
I'm here in Sarasota, Florida.
Let's check out what our potential new president might have to say.
College, and we're here just to remind everybody of what's happening in Florida and other states like it. Guys like Ron DeSantis, these functionally authoritarian leaders passing bills like Don't Say Gay, threatening classroom instruction, criminalizing teachers, criminalizing librarians, banning books, banning.
The only reason Newsom's in Florida is he's trying to convince everybody who left to come back. That's it. And the reason he's spending so much time in Florida is because it's infinitely better than California. Like, he doesn't want to stay in California either. He's like, Florida's the better option. I can go hang out in Florida and make videos and talk shit about DeSantis and not have to deal with California. Hell yeah, let's do that.
He's looking for a new home.
Sacramento's a hellhole. Why would I stay there?
Politicians, man, they just, and like with all their connections, and you look at him and Nancy Pelosi, and it's just like, how are people that just dumb? Like, how have we reached this level of just stupidity?
It's because most Americans are fucking retarded. That's your cue.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.